Well, another day has gone by. I haven't got much done. The big storm has passed that was forecast to come through. I don't think it turned out to be as bad as the forecast was, but it was bad enough. We did get some pretty good rain. Didn't get as much wind as the forecast. I was sprinkling a little bit this morning and then it cleared off and looked like the sun was going to come out, and now it's partly cloudy and blue sky. Oh, it was foggy for a while. Boss said something Monday about maybe flying today, but she didn't have anything firm. So I waited until this morning and I called her up to see, and she said no, she wasn't going to go flying today. She had a meeting and stuff like that. She got ready to come out here to go to work, and she called a little while ago and said she wants to go flying this afternoon. Take her and another technician up to one of the lakes here so they can walk one of the streams for the salmon survey. I have to leave here in about an hour. But I've been puttering around a little bit here since. I pulled that tarp back off a half of the roof. I'm gonna let it air out a little bit and then put some roof underlayment on. Get this half of it waterproofed, and then the forecast is kind of iffy. Not sure exactly what it means. It says gonna rain and then sunshine, and who knows what it's gonna do, probably both. But anyway, I'll get this side done, put the tarp back over it, and then pull the other side off tomorrow if it's sunny, or next time we get a chance, and get the underlayment on it, get it aired out and stuff. Again, I wanted all this stuff to get a chance to air out before I start putting any coverings on anything. I've got those 3 wires there, the 10-3 wire to use for the dryer outlet, for the 30 amp circuit for the dryer outlet, and the 6-2 wire to eventually maybe go to a spa or something outside. And then I've got the 12-2 wire that'll be a 20 amp outlet for the washing machine. So I went ahead and got a 20 amp ground fault interrupter outlet and just stuck up on the wall over there. And it's just temporarily nailed into the wall. So we got some power out here. And I dug out these work lights over there, figuring I could plug those in and get it lighted up in here a little bit, because it gets kind of dark when that tarp's on here and stuff. And it's going to get dark now early, so we're going to want lights. But those things didn't work. I guess I have to break down and get some LED ones now. Those are the old ones with the halogen bulbs in them, and those halogen bulbs are kind of fragile. But anyway, I went ahead downstairs in the basement and drilled holes through the rafters there and pulled those 3 wires over to the breaker box, and they're just stubbed out there except for the 12 gauge one. I went ahead and hooked it up into a circuit there, so I've got power out here. And then I went and found this floor lamp and plugged it in to see if it works, and it works. So it's going to be some light out here anyway. Well, this is what it looks like inside here now. We got the bracing and stuff up on the trusses, which of course we had before put the roof sheeting on. There's the end truss. Well, I think it looks pretty good. Let me come around here, might not be able to see it. Yeah, it's too bright looking into that door. But that's the wall that we framed in and stuck up. I want to insulate that wall, and then when we get our door, get the roof insulated. This will be a nice tight room. But we still got work to do on it. But Judy had a little plank nailed up there to keep from falling out the door. I'm going to go ahead and nail that back up. I just took it off so that I could get in here and out of here. I had to get the broom out of here and go back up on top on the roof deck and sweep that off, make sure it was all cleaned off before I start putting underlayment on it. So it's probably about time for me to get ready, to start getting ready to go to work, go flying.
did you call me for?
I was calling you about the retainers unit, but then I eventually gave up and asked for $2,000 because I found another one we don't have, so this is the basic.
I got underlayment here on the addition. I just finished up on the other side. Now Friday looked like it might be a decent day, so I took all the staples out of the tarp over here on this side and folded it back to give it a chance to dry out. And then I was doing some other things. I was pulling some wires and wired up an outlet in the addition down there so we can have lights and stuff in there. I had to go to work not until late. We went at 2 o'clock on Friday, and it was just a short day. I just shuttled Katie and technician into a little lake here about 5 miles out of town, and then waited for them while they walked the stream. Of course, I had to take one out, come back and get the other one, take her out. Then I waited in the stream for them to get done, and then I had to bring one out back to town and then go get the other one. So it was only less than an hour of flying time, but it took all afternoon, so it was late when I got back. I thought I was going to have time to put this underlayment on, but anyway, before I left, I had the tarp all off of here, hoping that the sun would hit it and dry it out, and I saw a big black cloud coming. Thought, well, it's going to go by. And I thought, no, I better put the tarp back over. And sure enough, I started pulling the tarp back over, and I was just down underneath it here under the eaves, finishing pulling it down when it started raining, and it was a deluge. It was a flood. Water just came cascading down off of here. It's a good thing I was getting ready to go to work anyway and had to go change my clothes because my clothes were soaking wet there. Only lasted about 3 or 4 minutes and then it was gone, but then we had several of them like that throughout the afternoon. Gusty winds, heavy rain, and then it quit, just squalls. So I had to fly again yesterday. I tried to go out in the morning, but it was so foggy here we didn't get out until about noon. But before I left, I pulled this tarp back again so it would get a chance to dry out and stuff. And yesterday afternoon when I came back from flying, I was able to work on that and get this underlayment on this side. Got it all down, and then I just pulled the tarp back over the top of it here. And this morning I went out, I had to unbutton that other side. I had to take all the staples out of that other side of the tarp and fold it back. I just got done, I got done putting the underlayment back on a few minutes ago, but I pulled the tarp back over and tacked it back down. Now this underlayment is supposed to be good for exposure for up to 180 days in Florida, so it should be even more than that here. I'm not ready to put the roof on. I got the roofing material to put on here. I've got to re-roof the whole house, but I've got to have a section of good weather like we had last couple of weeks to do that before I tear this roof off of here and start doing that. So the metal's out there, I just don't want to put it on yet. We had a storm a couple days ago and it didn't turn out to be as bad as they said. It was forecast to be 3 or 4 inches of rain and strong winds, and it turned out that we didn't get near as much rain as they forecast and the winds weren't near as bad. But there's another storm coming in, supposed to hit tonight, late tonight, tomorrow, and this time there's supposed to be heavy rain again, but this time instead of forecasting 25-mile-an-hour winds, they're forecasting 45-mile-an-hour winds. So anyway, I'm putting this tarp back on over here to protect that underlayment and to protect the rest of the addition on the house here. And I'm probably going to have to go get some more house wrap, cover up what I tore off the house here so far. Probably not going to get that done today. I don't know. Granddaughter needed some help on the brakes on her car. My son just come home back, so maybe he can help her with it. But I'm going to go see what I can do about getting her car going so she can get to driving that. Just going to tack this down some more. I've got it tacked down here on the top, and on that side already I'm going to tack it down on the fascia board here, because if we get 45-mile-an-hour winds with higher gusts, it's going to be nasty around here. We don't usually get full effect of the wind here, but it can still be pretty nasty. So anyway, I'm going to finish tacking this thing down. I had those lumber piles moved out of the way from behind the house so we could get access in there to put that addition on, which give me an opening to get in there with the forklift and dig out some of these styrofoam blocks that we had stored back there. I'm going to use some of those to insulate in this new addition. So Judy's been out here today with the pressure washer cleaning some of those blocks up. She's been busy with that, along with a couple other things that she's been doing. I got the underlayment on the roof, got that all sealed up, and then I put the tarp back over it, got it tacked down because we got a big storm coming in. I wanted to leave all that wood on there open as long as possible so it got sun on it and got a good chance to get dried out, because all of it was stored in stacks and whatnot and had gotten damp. It wasn't wet, but it had gotten damp, so I wanted to make sure and get it dried out as long as possible. But I think our opening time for that is closing now. We're going into our fall weather pattern and we've got storms coming, and this next one is supposed to be a dandy. They're forecasting well out in the open water 45 to 65 mile an hour winds, in town 20 to 25 mile an hour winds, so we're probably going to get 30 mile an hour winds or so here, plus heavy rain. I got to protect that bare wood on there, so I'm going to go ahead and put house wrap around there. I've already patched up a little spot that I tore off right there on the corner of the roof where it goes over the basement on the main house, and I've got a piece cut now. I'm going to start putting around the rest of the addition on here, try to get that protected from the weather. So I guess I better get after it. Took a little break, had a little bite to eat after getting the roof done, then I had to help my granddaughter work on her brakes. She's been doing them by herself. She's got drum brakes on the back of her car, and she actually did a pretty good job on it, but she didn't know anything about adjusting the brakes before she put it all together, so I went down to help her with that, and then found a couple other problems that I helped her out with and got it worked on. So we got that one side done. I don't want to do the other side, but she's been working on that side all day and it's kind of got herself wore out, so I'm going to wait until Tuesday or so, hopefully, and get the other side done. Then she'll get her car going. Okay, I better get to work here.